With the advent of penicillin at the end of the Second World War, the medical community thought that most health problems were already solved. But when time went by, they realized that people that were subjected to penicillin had significant negative impact on their immune system. Nowadays, penicillin in its 1,000 names is ineffective to kill any kind of virus. Only works with certain bacteria, resulting that the best weapon which doctors have now is inefficient. Nowadays, the penicillin and its derivatives, known as antibiotics, are not solving today's viral problems. If a person is consuming antibiotics, this person is decimating their immune system. And when we reach the crisis of very high fever that characterizes the pandemic influenza or bird flu, cannot solve this nature crisis, and we can have more risk of dying. Another problem that is associated with this virus is that the body sends an anti-inflammatory response that makes this virus fool the cells and appropriates its operation by creating a chaos of this inflammatory response, can lead to bleeding or fulminate disease that takes no more than 7 days and could reach death of restoration. When penicillin appeared, some people thought that if prescribed drugs were too efficient, serious better that were not, and this is how medicine started not working. The pharmacological enterprises discovered that sick people consumed more and doctors made more medical orders. Doctors do it better, but patients do not. The formula works and has been refined over time. There are more sick people and patients think they are too sick, and the doctors tell them they require surgeries. In the wonderful world of pharmacological enterprises and hospitals that began a never-ending story, generate so much money that can buy up counselors to protect their illicit profits. Having more patients, more profits, but this vicious circle generates too many sick people, and if everyone is sick, then who pays taxes? There is the end of Bonanza Guild. It seems that nobody realizes that this is the worst lie in the history of humanity, and leads to a disaster of gigantic proportions. Nowadays, medical community is totally incompetent his main weapon, penicillin. No longer works because the human body has decided to nullify and is exaggerating the use of steroids for almost everything. There is a need for fundamental reform to health services in the world. For asthma patients, you usually inhale steroids and more steroids for lungs pain. The use of steroids is a common practice in our times, and the sports are no exception. We have witnessed how great athletes from many disciplines use steroids to improve their performance. One example is Mitchell. It has been reported that baseball players are the major drug consumers, which cannot be detected on exams. Some Olympic athletes have returned their medals. The estimated cost of the cancer treatment in the US is approximately $300,000, and there is no guarantee that the person is cured at all. Insurers suffer the problem of excessive hospital costs, and people without insurance or money to pay the higher costs have virtually death sentence. When a person is sick of cancer, the doctor tells the patient that needs surgery to remove cancer. 90% of the surgeries carried out to individuals are unnecessary. 100% of those carried out tumors are useless because the tumors returned at higher speeds. While not nullify the virus that causes cancer, is not resolve cancer, and allopathic medicine is useless in this field and many others. In 2006, I visited Cancer Society in LA and informed them I had the cure for cancer disease. I told them that if they had the real attention to solve the cancer in people, I had the best method without medicines, without eating, without pain, without side effects, and the best of all, in short time. I led them my documentation, my business card, my addresses, and what happened is that they never called me. Previously, I also contacted them via email and happens the same. Two 2007 was the year with more deaths from cancer worldwide, and societies of cancer assume that the incidence has fallen. The cancer caused by the H5N1 virus has left a number of worldwide deaths, and in Mexico, the number is over 300,000 people died just of cancer and many more by other viruses associated with pandemic influenza. Jacqueline Kennedy, wife of the late U.S. President John F. Kennedy, died of cancer in 1994. She was recommended to take chemotherapy directly into the brain, and the skull had to drill for implementation. Whether a person so distinguished and wealthy did that, what can we expect of a normal person who has no money? Another substances to get in step with the doctors are the analgesics. If the person has a pain, they give them pills, but what it really makes is hide the pain. The simple analgesics, ranging from aspirin to using ingredients that they contain morphine. The use of morphine is legal when prescribed by a doctor. The use of narcotics promotes dependence. How strong is the pain? It is difficult for the doctors to prescribe the correct amount. If you miss the dose, and if it takes several days, the pill will have a new amount of drug addicts who are not going to look for pills to alleviate the pain. They will look for them to satiate their narcotics appetite. In the USA, strong medicines are advertised as if they were candies or chocolates. Marketing make their role spreading subliminal images. Purdue Pharma was penalized for $437 million by the FDA for propagating the sale of a powerful narcotic called OxyContin that contains morphine and has annual sales of over $2,000 million. The defender of this company has been Mr. Giuliani, current pre-presidential candidate for the U.S. Republican Party. Mr. Giuliani stands out for having withdrawn the illegal narcotics in the streets of New York when he was mayor of the town, but were promoted to the narcotics prescription. It does not diminish consumption, and whether they increase. Purdue, a pharmaceutical company that produces the drug, was legal to change the region, and the guards who supervised the company were provided by Mr. Giuliani with taxes from citizens.